Hello and welcome to Nickwit. I'm your host, Nick. I have to apologize again for such a long absence. I made a few changes in my life, one of which was a major change. Some of you may remember Pablo Escobar from Season 1, Episode 12. Well, him and I are no longer together, and it's been a rough time for me, but I've been spending a lot of my time making tribute videos to our relationship.
Fox and a hound playing together.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
One of the problems with a long absence is a lack of content. And without content, you don't get comments, and without comments, I have nothing to do. So I've been forced to use other social media platforms to drive up content. Most recently, I just checked up on Reddit, and the top post in my own subreddit is butts. These videos need big, juicy butts. Luckily, I have been lonely and been making tribute videos to that as well.
Kids scribble! Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth, ass to mouth, ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth, ass to mouth, ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth, ass to mouth, ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth, ass to mouth, ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth, ass to mouth, ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth and back. Ass to mouth.
If this is the content that you would like to keep seeing, then please send all your juicy butts to I am Alama Ama on Snapchat, and don't forget to follow me on twitch.tv/NickWitLive. Jesus Christ. Also follow me on Twitter at RealNickwit, where I keep everyone up to date on current events. 6ix9ine is facing 32 years to life in prison. Good, he's a pedo. Dude deserves life. Actually, a life sentence is 25 years. Very rarely do I get the opportunity to use my humor? Whatever you call this. Out in the real world. Recently, I came across a fast food place that had this sign on their drink fountain. We tried making ice by hand once. It melted. The one problem that I have with this is that if it has already melted, then you've already made ice. And to assume that you've made ice with your hands, that would only mean that you've either carved ice, which was already ice to begin with, or somehow through some weird King Midas water bending thing, you've made ice with your hands using water. I don't want to dig into this too much because it's just frustrating to me. So let's watch a video of a kid slapping himself in the face.
And you can get really cool different things, and you can be a little creative with it and make some kind of something a little musical, you know.
I like the part where he repeatedly slapped himself in the face. Like, in order to get ice by hand, you would have to have your hands so cold, below freezing, that you could turn water into ice by touching the water.
Well, let's just explain why it's good to take a dump like this. The anus and the rectum, they line. There's no angle.
Where do I tuck my wiener so I can piss immediately afterward? And at that point, your hands would be so frostbitten that they would fall off. The only way to make ice and not lose your hands is if you were somehow able to make one part of your hand so cold and use a water droplet in that coldest spot in your hand. But even that's not that wouldn't be enough water to make ice. You'd essentially be making a snowflake.